Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Bricks with Facilities Management, a production of Facilities Management Communications, where we give you a behind-the-scenes peek into how Facilities Management builds and maintains a campus known for its beautiful architecture and grounds. My name is Trey Wood.
And my name is Grant Peterson.
And we're going to be talking to Britt Foster today, Greenhouse Coordinator for Landscape Services, about spring planting.
Yeah, today we're going to talk to Britt about what it takes to get campus ready for the spring season and how her and Landscape Services tackle that.
I'm really excited about this.
I couldn't agree with you more. They put a lot of work into that, and it really shows.
I agree. So play me that theme song. Today we're talking with Brittany Foster, Greenhouse Coordinator for Facilities Management. Britt, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm great.
That's
peachy.
That's fantastic. So we're talking about spring planning, which is very important around campus. One time I recall you saying that y'all are one of the biggest sellers for student recruitment, athletic recruitment.
I consider our whole department to be not nothing, but we are recruiters. That's part of our job description, because when they come on the campus and they see how pristine the campus looks and how beautiful the flowers look and our trees and how just litter free, we're recruiters, and flowers are very important with that.
Flowers are very important. Mm-hmm. Now, how many flowers? Spring planting season is about what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, typically we start. Old just tradition is to start after Easter.
Right.
But this year we may be starting as early as the first week of April. We'll kind of have to watch the long-term weather trends to see. So we'll start in April, and I love to be finished by the end of May for the spring-summer planting. Sometimes it might carry us into the first week or so of June, just trying to finish up a few little small places.
Right, and that's planting full flowers, right? Actually grown.
Well, they're grown. We plant a design or combination, and they, over the course of probably about anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, the flowers fill out and create the full look we're trying to achieve.
Right.
So, and then we hope that the flowers that we select will have longevity of up to maybe 6 months, typically, because we do 2 change-outs a year.
Right.
One in the spring and one in the fall. And we like for them to last give or take 6 months.
Was the fall one where you planted like 5,000 buds?
Yeah, so this past fall we planted 6,000 tulips. And they were very successful, so we're definitely going to be planting a good bit more next year.
So how many are you planning on planting? I mean, I know it's not just you, it's you and Daniel, who's greenhouse associate, right?
Yeah, and then right hand, yep.
And then you've got dozens of others who all coordinate and helping out.
Yes, so the zone crews, we have flower beds and flower pots throughout campus, and each zone has a different amount. Zone 1 has the most, right? Probably over a third of all of the annual color bedding plants.
And that's like
is in
front
zone
gate.
1. Yeah, zone 1 would be
Sanford
Park,
right?
Ross Square, those areas.
Right.
So they have over a third.
Oh yeah, Ross Square's got a lot of planning.
So we coordinate with the supervisors and the crews to get in there, and we do it around the weather and the activities that are going on campus. Mm-hmm. And they get in there and they pull out the previous season's flowers and prepare the bed, till, rake, add amendment, just depends. And then normally 1 or maybe 2 people from that zone help us with the planting. So we could have myself could be planting with a crew in another zone, and Daniel could be planting in another zone, so we can get more done at once.
Well, I mean, you've got, several thousand plantings, right? Mm-hmm.
So last fall, we planted about 8,000 bedding plants on top of the 6,000 tulips that were installed in December.
14,000 total?
Well, there was 18.
Am I doing math right? Was that math?
8,000 plus 6,000 would be 14,000, yeah.
My brain quit, right? I was like, 14.
Well, there was 8,000 already grown plants.
Okay.
They were small, but they still had more to grow.
Right.
And then we planted 6,000 tulip bulbs. So the tulip bulbs were not, fully grown yet. They came up January, February.
Good Lord, that's a lot of flowers. Mm-hmm. And so spring planting is just like mostly grown plants, correct?
We have 2 on-site greenhouses that we grow about 70% of our spring and summer flowers in. So we're starting down there. We've got small liners that we pot up into larger pots, and we grow those off for a month to 5 weeks, and then we start installing those on campus in April. And we will have to purchase some additional from an outside grower vendor. Mm-hmm. Because the 2 greenhouses are not large enough to grow everything that we need.
I mean, that's a lot of flowers.
Yeah, it is. And we do not grow our fall flowers. We buy all those from a grower, professional grower.
So how many flowers is it about total, give or take?
Well, so I said there was about 8,000 already grown flowers planted last fall.
Right.
And then for the spring, we plant maybe not quite that much. I'm going to go maybe 7,000. So that's 14,000 for the entire year, both seasons, essentially. That's an approximate number.
Right.
If we did 2 change-outs in spring and fall. So every so often in special occasions, we do a 3rd change-out if the flowers aren't, get damaged, or if they're in the AU sign right there in front of Sanford Hall.
Right.
We may do a 3rd one right there, right before.
And then I know Justin talked about y'all doing some special projects as well, just to add different color in other places. Yeah,
if there's a special need for a special event, sometimes we might have to go in there and, plug in some flowers just for like a, one-time kind of thing and see, for those special events.
How do you choose the flowers?
Well, we try to choose the ones that are going to perform the best in our climate.
Which is
in this
hot.
Zone. Yeah. Well, we're in zone 8A.
And humid.
In Auburn. So we have to pick the traditional plants that do well in this area.
Right.
Bedding plants. Now, I
get
will
a lot of sun, things like that.
Mm-hmm. I will try to experiment with some different varieties, and which like series and colors and things like that. And every so often, we'll try to grow and use a plant that we haven't used before. Just trying to keep it new, so it's not just the same thing over and over and over again.
Is there any particular plant that is the one you like to do? Is like your go-to? We know this is going to be really successful.
There is. Justin won't like me saying this, but I love lantana because lantana comes now in several colors, and they have perennial lantana and annual lantana out there now. There's several colors ranging from a dwarf that stays probably, under 2 feet to they can get upwards of 3 or 4 feet tall, just big and spreading. They have, several different kinds out there. And it takes our super hot, dry climate. So
to maintain those? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's
you still have to water it,
yeah.
And take care of it. We have a lot of the urban heat jungle of campus, which is concrete and brick and asphalt everywhere. It can take those intense temperatures.
Right.
If you had to pick one specific flower overall that grows the best around this season in this area, because it is a unique space.
So you're talking about for the spring season?
Yes, for the spring season.
Okay, for the spring season.
You really like lantana?
I really like lantana. I like zinnias. Many do well here, not just the lantana, but it's about picking the right location to put it in.
About how many different flower species would you say is on campus?
Flower-wise for the spring, we probably do, I'm going to say close to 20 or more different kinds. And then several different colors of those 20.
Is there a process for y'all choosing designs, like how you want things to look?
Well, I try not to do the exact same thing every season, just because I don't like, monotony, just the same thing over and over. It is easier to know exactly what you're going to do every single season, but it's boring, honestly.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So we typically know what's done well there in the past. We may use a plant that we used in that same location in the past, but we'll try to pair it with a combination plant and maybe change the pattern the way it was in the bed.
And y'all figure all this out.
Yeah, Daniel and I do most of it. We kind of start. We'll be starting some designing here in the next couple of weeks. And I know I'm not supposed to say this, but sometimes we just fly by the seat of our pants.
That's half of it.
Green
thumbs and all.
Yeah, we grow a lot of the same things in different colors, and we buy in some of the same things, but in different colors, and we just know how well they're going to do. So we'll just change up the pattern or the combination of different plants. And of course, orange and blue patterns,
Always hits
color
off well.
schemes
Right.
is very well liked.
Always hits off
The
well.
problem about finding blue in the flower world or the horticulture world is true blue. There's not a lot of that out there. So you have to take variations of like purples and deep
Right.
purples and things like that and try to make the orange and blue. And hopefully people will understand that that's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
A lot of the
I've never looked at any of the AU beds, the ones that are specifically trying to be orange and blue, and been like, hey, that's purple. I've never
really.
I'm
glad because most of the folks that I work with, they tell me how I plant LSU colors all the time because I plant purple.
Never noticed. I've
good.
never noticed.
As far as the visitors and our clients on campus, they always seem to understand that even if it is a little bit more in the purple family than the blue family, they understand what we're trying to do.
Right.
And they like it.
They appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole, that's the thing I like about spring planting in the first place is that, I mean, like you said, flowers are important. The whole landscaping team is important, but flowers give it that pop.
Yeah.
They give it that, that
And
razzmatazz.
we definitely like to use plants. It's not the main deciding factor in our selections, but things that bees and butterflies and everything are going to be.
Right, because we're a
are going
pollinator
to-
campus as
Yeah.
well, right?
Not every bed is going to have something that they're attracted to.
Sure.
But we definitely use those kinds of plants.
We're a
Salvias.
bee campus.
Salvia is the main, what I call my blue plant that I use for the spring and summer.
Right.
Because salvias come in several different colors, but they have a good blue color. I'm going to put blue in quotes. And I pair it with something orange.
And then you never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that we are a bee campus, so it's nice. I know pollinator gardens are a big thing that they've been talked about for a couple of years now.
There's a lot of wildflower mixes out there that you can buy that you just sow them. Very big pollinator and butterfly attractant.
And probably pretty hardy.
Yes. I don't have a lot to do with that, but our department has several plots on campus, half acre to maybe larger in a few locations to where they go out and sow just this wildflower mix. And it's got a mixture of, Cosmos. I'm trying to remember what else is in it. And I think it's all native stuff too.
Is there one outside the barn? I feel like that.
At Ag Heritage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that was one because I've seen tons of
Actually,
bees out
it's
in that
right.
area.
I've got it on my screensaver. That's what that is.
Speaking of sustainability, you talked about the rainwater collection pots. I can't think of their name.
Earth planters.
Earth planters.
They are a self-watering pot that has a water reservoir in the bottom of it, and you fill the water reservoir up. And when the water reservoir is full, it has a planting bowl in the top of it that you plant the flowers in, or plants, or whatever you choose. And the middle of the planting bowl is a hole with recycled carpet in it. So a lot of the product is actually made from recycled material.
Right.
The hole in the middle of the planting bowl with the carpet lining the hole wicks the water from the reservoir in the bottom to the plants.
That's neat. I didn't know that about the carpet. And y'all have what, about 70?
We have about 195. of those
195
on campus.
And I said 70.
We have about 203 pots total
Right.
on campus, and about 195 of those are the self-watering style.
Okay.
It cuts down on water waste. It cuts down on labor.
Right.
It just saves a lot of time and resources.
Pots in general provide a lot of color in places where you might not have a lot of color, like on male concourse. I know there's a couple out there to just give it a little bit of pop, and it means you don't have to go out there and water them every day.
We just put 14 new ones in at the basketball arena.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a lot of concrete out there.
What's the timeline where you're exchanging the plants and then where you're no longer planting them, you're just maintaining them for the rest of the season?
Like I said, I try to be finished by the end of May with the installation part. We maintain the flowers, June, July, August, sometimes till the end of September.
So it's just like a month long planting process.
Well,
and then
2 months.
2 months, okay.
And then another 3 to 4 months of maintaining. And that is, watering, fertilizing, pruning, weeding, maybe replanting if something dies because of any number of reasons. We don't replant everything if it dies. For instance, this is nothing to do with the spring planting, but we had the cold snap over Christmas. So when we came back in January, quite a few things had gotten burnt.
Right.
About the hard freeze and hard
And
temperatures.
we've had several freezes in
Yeah.
like March over the past couple of years as well.
So we had to go in and take a lot of stuff out. And we replanted some stuff. I had to contact a grower to find out what they had available as far as flowers. And they had some stuff, and they sent it to us, and we replanted in some key locations, but we weren't able to replant everything. So that stuff had to kind of be pulled and sit empty till spring, till we get ready to do the spring installation.
So around September, you pull the beds
Yeah,
and
we
then
start
switch
we
it
start
out for-
pulling around September, and then in October we start with our fall installation.
and then the process starts all over again. That greenhouse coordinator makes sense.
Also, starting in the fall, we have to start prepping for the Christmas tree.
Yes.
And then that starts getting chaotic.
It's
And
the most
then-
wonderful time of the year.
Oh, don't get me started on that tree. And then December is tulip time. So we do the beds October, November.
Right.
Take it 2 or 3 days to do the Christmas tree. And then December, we're here for 2-3 weeks before we go home.
Right.
We get all the tulip bulbs in. And it's going to end up being a very, very short window, especially since they did so well this year. So that means do more.
It always does.
Yeah. It does.
Wait, and that's the one that's what, 6,000?
That's 6. It was 6,000 this year. You're looking at least 10 probably next year. I'm guessing.
How many people do you have, like, in general helping?
All of the supervisors and all the zones help. They coordinate their crews. So you got those 5 supervisors, and then you've got at least 2 to 3 members on every one of their crew. So that's, we're looking at like 15 to 20 people. They're still trying to figure out how
They're
to,
just planting as well.
They're trying to get all of their regular duties done and squeeze in Brittany coming at them, get my beds pulled so we can get them planted. So bless their hearts, because there's no way I would get a fraction of what I get done without teamwork and coordination with everybody that we work with. Almost every group, every crew has something to contribute,
Right.
whether it's an idea, whether it's just, back-breaking labor, whether it's just a way to make just the job easier, like a little technique of some kind, just suggesting a flower, anything.
Right.
There are supervisors out there that I know that they have people on their crew that are perfectly capable of picking out their own flowers and planting their own stuff without really me having any involvement. So turn that over to them. That's what we want, because we can't continue to grow like we're growing this campus. We can't just have 1 or 2 people that can make all the decisions. We got to
Right. train
train all this, and they are. There's a lot of people in our department that are showing they have that potential and they want to do it. So
That's good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody helps.
yes.
The landscape way. Everybody helps.
To me, what I notice is how pristine everything looks. Flower beds, the grass,
Right.
the lack of litter, just the design of an entire landscape, not just the flowers in it, but the way the trees blend into it, the grass. It's just like a room, and how
Right.
pristine it's all kept and designed and, implemented. So
I mean,
that's me, but I'm probably paying attention to a little bit more things
it's
than
it's
an average person.
Well, it's a beautiful campus.
Yeah.
I think that's and everybody contributes in some way, form, or fashion. I think that's awesome.
All right, let's ask a question. What do you really love?
Sunshine. Because if anybody in my group, they need to hear it.
That you love sunshine?
Yes.
What's the most important thing for, spring?
For growing flowers.
yeah, just the most
What are the
thing.
2 most important things
Well, water and
for
sunshine.
growing successful spring flowers?
Love.
Hey, well, you have to say War Eagle to them.
Yeah.
All the flower beds in the
Okay,
pots.
so there's 4 things. There's H2O, there's love,
War Eagle.
there's War Eagle, and there's
Sunshine.
Woo! And we love sunshine.
Oh, I'm joking.
Britt,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining with us.
You're
today.
welcome, Casper.
Had a fantastic time learning about spring planning at Auburn University. What a treat.
It was.
Yeah.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.